This is beautiful. You continue to be my greatest success, Guardian.
Double down.
Hello everyone,
I am CoolGuy, gunslinger, slinger of all guns.
welcome back, and today we're going to go in-depth on a returning exotic shotgun, the Chaperone. Now the Chaperone was one of my favorite all-time weapons in Destiny 1, and Forsaken has brought it back. Now to get the Chaperone, a quest has to drop. It's called Holiday Family History. There are different reports on how to obtain the quest. I got mine once I entered the Dreaming City. Another friend got it after a Crucible match, one got it before a Crucible match, another got it after turning in a bounty. There doesn't seem to be an exact reason. Now it could be coincidence, but each time the quest has dropped, the players that got it were a part of a fire team. Once the quest is obtained, you go to Amanda Holiday and she tells you that Tex Mechanica is holding a Crucible tournament. The prize is the Chaperone, a weapon based off of her mom's old gun, and she's going to be helping out with the tournament. The quest steps are a lot easier than they were in Destiny 1, particularly one step. But starting off at step 1, you need to get 20 kills with shotguns in the Crucible. Nothing too fancy about it, I just went all in for my shotgun kills. Katie doesn't matter, I got it done in a couple games. The second step is the one that I was dreading. Defeat opponents in Crucible with Void, Solar, and Arc. Being defeated sets back your progress. Now back in Destiny 1, I did this with a Gunslinger. The Night Stalker wasn't even a class yet, and when you died, it set you back big time. This time around though, it's not as harsh. I estimate that you need to get about 35 kills for each one, Solar, Arc, and Void. I got it done in about 4 or 5 games, and I had a big 48 opponents defeated game on my second match. Generally when you do this, you set up each element in a slot, right? So I did a Void subclass, Arc Energy Weapon, and Solar Heavy. After each game, check your progress. I used the Arc Vestian Dynasty and the Solar Sleeper Sim. I would get heavy, make sure all my Sleeper Sim shots landed to get the most out of each game, and the energy weapon slot is where you get your most progress. So in my case, there came to a point to where the Void kind of worked itself out with my grenade kills, ability kills, and super kills. Arc got done really quickly with my weapon, and at that point, Solar was close, so I just put on a Solar-based energy weapon. It takes much less time to do this part of the quest, and after each game, just check your progress and move your elements around accordingly. The final step is to defeat 15 opponents in Gambit. You can be the invader or you can kill the invaders. Anytime you defeat another Guardian, it counts towards progress. After 15 kills, you return to Amanda Holiday to get the Chaperone from her. My mother had a shotgun we called the Chaperone, kept us alive out there before we got to the city. Before we get into the nuts and bolts of the Chaperone, going in depth, I didn't say it in the title, I didn't say it in the thumbnail, but I am very comfortable saying that this is one of the best shotguns in the game. I personally believe that it is the best shotgun in the game. It's insane, it's crazy, it's all of those things. Now, most gameplay in the background is with the Night Stalker's Way of the Wraith. I just reviewed this subclass. There's a link down in the description to see how it works. It pairs really nicely with the Chaperone. And oh yeah, the Chaperone still has that trademark whip. The perks that make up the base stats are accurized rounds, hand-laid stock, and hammer-forged rifling. As you can see, it has max range, high impact, and high handling. The Chaperone is a precision slug shotgun. Its exotic perk, the Roadborn. Precision kills briefly grant bonus handling, range, and precision damage. When in Roadborn, you get faster aim-down sight speed, faster equip speed, and faster reload. In Destiny 1, Roadborn would actually proc on a primary weapon headshot. It would trigger Roadborn, then you can switch to the Chaperone for that buff. Not anymore though, that could possibly be in a catalyst later on. But there's also a hidden perk to Roadborn in Destiny 2's version that was brought back. When you are in Roadborn, the Chaperone shoots faster. Range and precision damage go hand in hand. Bigger damage fights damage falloff, thus extending your effective range. Since this quest revolves around the Crucible and how it works, let's start off with the PvP numbers. The base Chaperone does 275 damage within effective range. The maximum distance you can get a consistent one-shot kill is right around 13.5 meters. That's 203 damage. If they are lower resilience, you can get away with 14 meters. It does 194 there. The main exotic perk Roadborn ups the precision damage, range, and handling. The precision damage jumps to 321 from 275, a 16.72% increase. With Roadborn active, your maximum effective one-shot kill range is 16 meters. That's for 201 damage. That's to do it consistently. But this is where things get interesting. Just because a one-hit kill is at 16 meters doesn't mean that you can't go further than that. And let's be upfront here. Most shotguns lie around a 10-meter kill range. The Chaperone outdoes that at base consistently. With Roadborn, you can reach out and touch your opponents.
You've got 30 seconds.
With shotgun range, when you're judging it, the fall off is very, very steep. So on screen is the damage numbers. It gets very steep quickly, as I said, but it's important to know its complete range. And in the footage, you can see some of the longer shots. If you get your opponent weak, you can take the shot. Even if it looks like it's a mile away, the Chaperone can and will surprise you. Let's talk about its performance. I do believe that this is the best shotgun in the game for a couple reasons. Now, I was talking to a PC player. He said that slug shotguns aren't used too much, so we're going to see how that plays out. But it's the ability that you have when you move around with it, snap on your target, its range, its handling, all of it is elite. The Chaperone is a shotgun that can be run on any subclass, any exotic armor, but your true build really lies within the armor perks. This is my setup, and this setup elevates the Chaperone. Before I go any further, Chaperone is a weapon that you can go all in for. It's a weapon that you can and should build around. Not all weapons are like that. So from the top down, on my helmet I have pump action, bonus super energy on shotgun kills, and in the opening clip you can kind of see that. So if you're running around with a shotgun, the perk is low-key meta. You can go on a really good streak, you can get your super fast. Now on my arms, I have shotgun scavenger and shotgun reloader. Faster reloads and getting more shotgun per brick is huge. The reloading is good for when you don't have Roadborne, because when you do have Roadborne, it doesn't really matter. On the chest piece, I have shotgun unflinching. This perk reduces flinching incoming fire while aiming down sights with shotguns. With Chaperone, you're trying to land those headshots, so this perk is very important. And before I put this perk on, I was really missing shots. I would get in range, shoot my shot, and it would just miss, be thrown off. This perk drastically helped. On the legs, I run traction. Traction grants increased mobility and tighter turn radius when sprinting. When you put all these together, you have a complete armor build for your Chaperone. Some of them you may not have some of the perks, and some of them you might not have the perk for a particular exotic. That's okay though, it's something to build for. What's so nasty about Chaperone is that the base shotgun without Roadborne is elite. Better than most, if not all shotguns. Once you add Roadborne, it's in its own league. The only downside to the Chaperone is kind of a small downside, is that you have to land headshots, and that's what you call risk versus benefit, and the benefits of the Chaperone outweigh the risks. It's a precision slug shotgun. All efforts go towards landing headshots. Body damage gets no buff, no multiplier. So going for headshots at all times. I find myself being very aggressive with it because you can be. Since you do have to go for headshots, there is a skill gap with Chaperone. Not everyone can pick it up and do well. Now, if you do master it and do what you need to do, it's a very high ceiling weapon, has very high potential. It's important that once you land your first headshot and Roadborne is active, you start searching. This is where you can be the most potent with it, but on the flip side, even if you don't get a lot of Roadborne kills, the base Chaperone has max range. You're going to be outranging a lot of players. Play fast and play precise. As far as what to pair the Chaperone with, it really can be used with anything. What's nice about it is you can use it offensively or defensively. With that being said, you still have to somewhat commit to Chaperone. If you go with a scout rifle, you could play the range game. If players come up on you, you can pull out the Chaperone, defend yourself. But just know that mid-range, you could have some issues. So if someone gets close, you can either stand your ground to scout them, and if they get close enough, you can counter the rush with the shotgun, or you can decide to be aggressive yourself in that situation. I personally go with the hand cannon or pulse rifle. With a hand cannon, I can duel in short to mid-range, and with it paired with Chaperone, I'm just staying away from long sight lines and avoiding long-range engagements. Same goes for a pulse rifle. Before we jump to the last section, PvE, let's go over some tips for success using Chaperone. Number 1, don't hipfire it. Only in a situation where it's absolutely necessary, because you need to be landing criticals. Number 2, not from the air. In-air accuracy is really hit or miss with this thing. You might be able to make a good play every now and then, but most of the time your slug is going to hit nothing but air. Number 3, pre-aim. Do it around corners, knee slide. You're always going to be aiming down sights when you use the Chaperone. And 4, strongly consider building around it. As we went over earlier, things like shotgun unflinching, shotgun scavenger, pump shotgun for bonus super energy, your armor perks really elevate your overall experience with this weapon. As far as PvE, it's decent. The main thing to do is to land a headshot on an ad, get the perk going, get Roadborne active on that mid to high tier enemy. You want that increased damage, you want that faster reload, and you definitely want that faster fire rate to bring it all together. But when push comes to shove, the Ikelos Escalation Protocol shotgun is the better option. Since you use the EP shotgun, that opens up the exotic slot, meaning something like Ace of Spades could be there. Ace of Spades and the EP shotgun is going to be better than anything you could ever pair the Chaperone with in PvE. In conclusion, if you're a fan of the original Destiny 1 Chaperone, a fan of shotguns, or a fan of an aggressive playstyle, the Chaperone is for you. It is top tier elite, and I've used it heavily for the past couple days. Got some We Ran Out of Medals with it, big streaks, a lot of wow moments. In a 5-star ranking system, I would rank it 5 out of 5 in PvP. I am that confident in its abilities. For PvE, I would give it a 1.5 out of 5. It has some applications, but not enough to warrant usage. So down in the comment section, what do you guys think of the Chaperone? Where's its place? Is it top tier to you? Does it look decent? And if you have it, what are your thoughts? And if you enjoyed the video and found it useful, a positive rating is always appreciated. Thank you guys for watching, and until the next one, I am CoolGuy.